Hi and welcome to this TechPathways London interview. My name is Caitlin McMillan. I'm the project manager of TechPathways London and I am here today with Rebecca Wald. Hi Rebecca.
Hi, good to be here.
So Rebecca, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your job?
Yes, so hi everyone, my name is Rebecca. I work at Mode, which is a Bitcoin wallet basically, but we're extending our capabilities significantly. And in order to do that, you need someone like me who's a product manager. So what I basically do from day to day is that I look at our current product, I make sure that everything works the way it's supposed to do, and I think about constant new features and make sure that we have the capabilities and the functions to implement them.
And how did you get to where you are today?
It's actually a pretty funny story. So when I was a small girl, I was actually 15. I was very, very lucky and I was allowed to do an internship at BMW. And I got to see every part of the innovation that a car company does. And the one that interested me the most was how they basically make a car come to life. So what they basically do is that they get a laptop with the software and they plug it into the car. And then in the next moment, the car basically, all of the engines, all of the electricity comes to life. And I thought it was so interesting that software is actually the capability that makes such a powerful mechanical engineering component come to life that I was so keen on understanding how it works and how it can be powered just by software.
Amazing. What an amazing opportunity to get to work for BMW. Was that in Germany?
Yes, so I'm originally from Munich, Germany, and this is also where I did my studies. So I studied information systems. There's a lot of misunderstandings about what engineering is. So you can study computer science, but you can also study something very interesting called information systems. So if I would have to describe information systems, it is the unity between business and engineering. So what we basically do is that we understand how you can basically capture information and processes and how we can translate that into a technical requirement. So this is boring things like business processes, but it's also really, really interesting things like how should the app look like? What colors should we use? How does that basically interest the user or how does it not interest the users? And then I basically learned how to describe that to engineers and how they can implement it.
Can you talk us through a recent work day?
Yes, of course. So maybe I'll just use the one today. I know it's not quite finished yet, but yeah, so basically my workday has a few repeating components. So every morning I get up and I meet with the whole engineering and product team. So we discuss what is on the agenda, we discuss any problems that we're facing, any milestones that we have. So right now we're rolling out a lot of cool functionality that will hopefully have a big, massive value add to our app. So the engineers give me their update, they ask me for new requests. And then in the second part of my day, I usually work with different stakeholders. So for example, I had a designing session today with marketing and our product designers. And we looked at the screens for a new functionality in the app and we designed it together. Then I also had an architecture meeting today. So as a product owner, I also need to make sure that our system architecture is on track. So I meet with them and they show me their progress and I give them a bit of direction. One of my favorite jobs today was talking to the customer facing teams. So that actually also involves customer support. They let me know how the users are liking the product, if they need any changes. And I take away that information and I create out of that new ideas for the app, how to make it even better.
Gosh, that sounds like a very busy day. I feel like I'm ticking through my head trying to work out if I've achieved as much as you have in my day. As you said, it's not yet over. I've got time. So if you were going to encourage a young person to develop digital skills, which skills do you think are most important for them to be prioritizing?
Yes, so I think basic coding skills are really important because it basically teaches you how to understand systems. I know it always sounds like very daunting and difficult, but there are really cool tools out there that will help you and support you with that, even remotely. And then on top of that, I think how to design a system. So I know that there are a lot of young people out there who really want to go into product management or designing systems, But in order to do that, there are a lot of very cool skills that you can learn. So the first one that I would name would be UML, which is called Unified Modeling Language. What it enables you to do is to design and draw systems from different perspectives and have a look at it. Because the system is made out of three main components. So that's basically the data model. So you need to modify that. Then how the user interacts with the system, that is the activity layer. And then we have the transitions. So how does basically, what does the actor do and how does this system react to it? So those would be the two things. So get a basic coding experience, understand how a system functions, and then on top of that, learn how to design a system.
Brilliant. One more question. Kind of on your average day at work, what technologies and what different digital tools do you use?
Yes. So I think I would split the answer into two parts. So the first part is basically what I use on a day-to-day business to manage a product. And the second part is the underlying technology stack that we use here at Mode. So I think the most important tool is called GitHub and ZenHub. So what it basically does is that it allows me to define the tickets for the developers. But on top of that, I build my product roadmap using this tool. So I understand what our stakeholders need from the app. So our users, but also internal stakeholders. And then I line it out on the product roadmap and I write due dates, and then I split it and specify it into so-called user tickets, user stories, which are tickets that the developers then work on. So that is absolutely essential. And I think 80% of my screen time goes to that. On top of that, I use a product called Asana, which is my project management tool. So in order to manage the Scrum side of things, I use GitHub, but in order to manage all of the high-level projects and the dependency that it, for example, has on marketing. So if we launch a new feature, marketing has to be able to create announcements about it, inform the users about it, or operations needs to build customers for it. So that's the second tool I use for project management. And then obviously email and the whole product Office suite. And then for our underlying tech stack of here at Mode. So we have an iOS app and an Android app. So all of the Apple suite and the Google suite for that. And then we use something called AWS, so Amazon Web Services. This is where we have our cloud. So this is where all of our databases are hosted. This is where all of our functionality is hosted. And it out of the box gives you really cool insights into how the system is doing. Are all our partner apps up and running? So for example, we use a service that gives us the price of Bitcoin, so we can monitor that. And I can also see the performance of the app. I can see how many users are online. So yeah, I would say the most important one is AWS there. Then of course, all of our databases, all of our logging tools. Yeah.
Rebecca, thank you so much for your time today.
Yes, sure. Happy to be here.